But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green. And hi, my name is Hunter Hnat. I am from Tucson, Arizona, and I am a part of the Rogue Ensemble. My dad told me every day that I was going to be a mechanical engineer, and I thought that might be the case, but no. I've always wanted to either teach or just kind of be in front of people and talking and inspiring, I guess. The first teacher that I ever had for drama her name was Miss Noble, and that really was the time that I felt really inspired to, either do theater as an actor or teach it. I felt like I was really in a shell, kind of just nervous and theater is what helped me to become more, and Miss Noble, to become a truer version of myself.
And you wanted to bring that to other people too?
Yeah. So I really did a lot of theater with junior high and high school, but during that time I started going to this church called St. Francis in the Foothills. I became a music teacher. I was the general custodian for the church. I'd set up the Sunday services, and then I was in all their plays, and then I would perform and do readings and sing during Sunday services. And getting to know people through there, I learned about other theaters around Tucson. So I worked with Robert and Sela with Studio Connections. I auditioned for the U of A for the musical theater program, and I got in, and that was awesome. And that was the next step for me. So in high school, I asked my drama teacher, I was like, Mr. Nas, what's the one thing, it was maybe a little bit fresh of asking this question, what's the one thing that I could take away from you, that you could teach me? What's that? And he said, well, be humble. And that stuck with me. Just staying humble was really something that I carried into the U of A. And I guess the biggest thing I learned there was just, technique and process. And the techniques and stuff that really stuck with me was Linklater, and doing that vocal work and really developing my stamina. Monty Ralston was my voice teacher for singing, and he would always talk about taking an inhalation, an inspiration, breathing in, and breathing into a feeling that is really, really good. He'd always, when I would breathe in, he'd go, chocolate, Disneyland. It was just amazing, ice cream, and I could just feel my body just relaxing and breathing into a better space and even more positive. Just learning how to relax. Something else that was really, really big, Brent Gibbs, my acting professor at the U of A, I was in a Shakespeare show with him, and I was a sophomore, and I had a name role in this Shakespeare show, which is a big deal. And I was very nervous, and I got out of my car in a parking garage, and I was walking to class, and I hear, "Hey, Hunter!" So he came over to me, and he was like, "Hey, man, I just want to talk to you real quick." I was like, "What's up, Brent?" He was like, "Well, I just want you to know, you're enough. You are that guy. That's why I cast you. You're perfect for him. Just go up there and be you. Just be relaxed, open up, and talk, and think about what you're saying, and the action." And I was like, wow. I've never felt that way before as a performer, that I was really enough. And that was a big day for me. It was about about a year after college that I came to the Rogue. When I went to the U of A, and even before then, I said to myself, I want to be an actor. I don't know if I want to be a musical theater performer where I'm dancing, acting, and singing, but I want to be on stage speaking, preferably doing Shakespeare. That's always been a passion of mine, always. And something that I love about Shakespeare is its meter, and we, we learn to compare the meter to a heartbeat, and that heartbeat tells you that life of that character, how fast your heart's beating, how slow it's beating, or if it has a little palpitation or stuff like that, and that also correlates to music. I feel like I'm really singing when I'm speaking Shakespeare.
Right on.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Right on. What do you think you bring to the acting ensemble that might be unique to you?
My smile. I'm not sure. I feel like sometimes I get like the romantic guy, but that's like, I feel like kind of playing to my strengths, and I also feel like I've been very challenged and very invited to explore these different parts of what I can do.
What would you say your strengths are that lend themselves to romantic leads?
Well, I feel like I'm really good at listening. I feel like I'm good at listening and being sensitive and hearing the small nuance of like, oh, like, hey, and it's like, hey, like, I don't know how to explain it.
So you have been cast opposite Bryn Booth several times at the Rogue, both as siblings and lovers. What have you learned from working with her so closely and so frequently?
Every single character is starting from the ground up. I don't really see her coming into the room with something that I've seen before. It's always like this real fresh experience, and that makes me really excited because I'm like, whoa, what's gonna happen? I don't even know. And that's really exciting. I could turn the corner and Bryn could be on the other side of the theater, and I could just look at her like, and she would know exactly what I'm thinking. And we might even both burst out laughing. So having that chemistry, working with scenes with each other, I can instantly just start. She just sees my nuance, and I see hers, and then we're just layering, and it's a lot of fun.
There's like a foundation of play.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite part you've played at the Rogue, or parts?
I definitely would say Christopher Boone in The Curious Case of the Dog at Nighttime, because I had so many lines. Because honestly, like, it's really helpful to have a lot of lines. The more lines you have, the more you just know about your character, and you can really work in those parameters, and it's just like, it's very helpful.
What was challenging about that role?
What was challenging about that role was making sure that I was not overdoing my voice because of just the amount of talking, and there was a time that I had a meltdown.
Not straining your voice?
Straining my voice, yeah. Like, literally, I had to scream on stage. So I had to warm up every day, and usually I do, but I had to do a more in-depth vocal warm-up and really, really be screaming and talking and projecting from this place of being able to sustain it, because it would be so easy for me to be so excited and so like in it that I just like push a little bit too hard. So the whole time during that show, I was really having to maintain this balance of technique and character.
What's a role that you're dying to play someday but haven't yet?
Romeo. From Romeo and Juliet.
Thank you for the clarification.
Written by, Shakespeare. But also Peter Schaffer's Amadeus. I'd love to play Mozart. I'd love to play Mozart now, and then when I'm older, I want to be Salieri. Like, I love that whole play. I love everything about that play. My dream, my whole life, has been to be a professional actor at a theater like the Rogue. And the fact that that is actually happening to me in my life is a dream come true. And that sounds cliche, but it really is something that I wanted and I thought about and I like hoped for and I tried to make happen in my life. And it's, you know, it's happening, and that's really, I feel really, really lucky and fortunate, and I feel like I've worked hard, and it's like paying off.